Howdy howdy, did the Baku suck up your nightmares? Good, me neither. In bronze script from the 11th century BCE starts the legend of the East Asian Dream Eaters. The pictograph here is an early rendition of Mo from the late Shang dynasty. Mo used to refer to the giant panda in its mythology until the 19th century, when a French guy misunderstood and assumed Mo referred to the tapir. This man stank of baguette. Jean-Pierre Abel Ramazat took a woodblock illustration of a mythological creature and said it was a Malayan tapir. The reason this noxiously French guy could be regarded as a trifling buffoon was because prior to 2020 and 2021, the tapir was thought to be extinct in China far earlier than 2200 years ago. The fossil records of the tapirs in China were older than 100,000 years ago, meaning at the time the tapir had not lived in China during the time of documentable history. But interestingly enough, according to Live Science, sacrificial remains of a giant panda and tapir were found near the tomb of Emperor Wen, who was around from 203 BCE to 157 BCE. I discovered the Chinese mythos around the Mo in the most unlikely place, Tumblr. Within the script myth Tumblr is where I first heard of the Urya, which I hope I'm saying correctly, but I doubt it, which is a massive dictionary encyclopedia from the Han period. The Urya is one of the 13 classics of Confucian tradition. Within this book is a description of the Mo. Because I'm a disappointment to Duo, I can't read any Chinese dialect. I'll quote the Tumblr user for the book's description on the Mo. A fierce, bear-like predator that was black and yellow or white, with a small head, stout legs, and strong bones. Its habitat was the Shanglei Mountains in modern-day Taiwan. And its teeth were so strong, it was apparently able to eat copper and iron. Its pelt, when slept upon, was supposed to help a woman with cramps. This was the description of a giant panda. How does one French guy make such a culturally significant mistake? This man fully destroyed the meaning of a word that existed for a millennia. According to Donald Harper, his mistake was based on woodblock illustrations of the Mo, first described by Bo Juyi in the 9th century. Elephant trunk, rhinoceros eyes, cow tail, tiger paws. This is the classic description of the mythological Mo, though prior versions, like Zhu Shen from 58 AD to 148 AD in Shoen Gaizi during the Han Dynasty, has added the bear aspect. This sounds like a whole mishmash of characteristics, and from ostensible legend claimed by putative websites, it is said that when the gods are finished creating the animals, they took all the odds and ends lying around and put them together to make the Baku. The claim that there are legends of the Baku being Frankenstein's likely stems from Thailand, where the Malayan tapir actually lives. In Thailand, the Malayan tapir has the name Posamset, translating into mixture is finished, referring to the local belief of the tapir being a mixture of other animals. The kanji cultural sphere refers to the cultural similarities among the East Asian countries, especially in reference to China and Japan's connection. According to World History Encyclopedia, around 400 BCE till relations between Japan and China became isolationist, China, the much older state and the more developed, passed on to Japan a long list of ideas, including rice cultivation, writing, Buddhism, centralized government models, civil service examinations, temple architecture, clothing, art, literature, music, and eating habits. Trade relations greatly outlasted cultural and diplomatic ties, with Japan beginning to develop its own unique cultural path from 9th century CE onwards. Among the shared culture was the Mo, which evolved in Japan into the Baku. An abrupt aside, mythology and the Malayan taper is not strictly talking about China or Japan. If we look at the curriculum guide for educators from tapirs.org, it says, in Chinese, the name of this beast and of the tapir is Mo, in Mandarin, and Mak, in Cantonese. In Korea, the name is Make. The Japanese name for a tapir is Baku. It is said that once a Mo came to Japan, that's when it became associated with dream eating. Zach Davison draws connections between the Mo/Baku and the dream-eating Bakuki from the Torokuten, 6 stories of the Tang dynasty, suggesting that the Baku eating dreams may originate with the Torokuten. I myself could not find any proof to the existence of this book. Many traditions around the Baku date back to the Tang dynasty. Previously, in a Tumblr quote, the Mo/Baku, the pelts of the beast were mentioned. Its pelt, when slept upon, was supposed to help a woman with cramps. All the Baku traditions center around sleep and protection by using a representation of a Baku blanket, an image of a Baku over your bed, folded screens decorated with Bakus, and much more. Written examples of the traditions around the Baku are hard to come by. In Koto, Being Japanese, Curious with Sundry Cobwebs by Lafcadio Hearn, he recalls stories about the Baku from a nondescript ancient book. In the time of old Chinese learning, pictures of the Baku used to be hung up in Japanese houses, such pictures being supposed to exert the same beneficent power as the creature itself. My ancient book contains this legend around the custom, and Hearn goes on to quote his mystical ancient book. In Shibeji Roku, it is declared that Kotai, while hunting on the eastern coast, once met with the Baku, having the body of an animal but speaking like a man. Kotai said, "Since the world is quiet and at peace, why should we still see goblins? If a Baku be needed to extinguish evil spirits, then it were better to have a picture of the Baku suspended to the wall of one's house. Thereafter, even though some evil wonder shall appear, it could do no harm. When the hen lays a soft egg, the demon's name is Taifu. When the snakes appear entwined together, the demon's name is Jinzu. When dogs go with their ears turned back, the demon's name is Teo. When the fox speaks with the voice of a man, the demon's name is Guishu. When blood appears on the clothing of men, the demon's name is Yuki. When the dream of the night is an evil dream, the demon's name is Ringetsu. Whenever any such evil marvels happen, let the name of the Baku be invoked, then the evil sprite will immediately sink 3 feet under the ground." So, how is this mysterious book holder reliable? A little bit of background around the author. Lafcadio went to Japan in 1890, where he taught Western literature and wrote about Japanese culture. Lafcadio Hearn, obviously, isn't from the Tang dynasty, and his ancient book likely shares that sentiment, but does illustrate how the Baku tradition works. On to another modern author, referencing the same book as the previous. Myths and Legends of Japan by F. Hadlin Davis. Several evil dreams are mentioned in an old Japanese book, such as 2 snakes twined together, a fox with the voice of a man, bloodstained garments, a talking rice pot, and so on. When a Japanese peasant awakens from an evil nightmare, he cries, "Devour, O Baku, devour my evil dream." At one time, pictures of the Baku were hung up in Japanese houses, and its name written upon pillows. It was believed that if the Baku could be induced to eat a horrible dream, that the creature had the power to change it into a good fortune. And a brief alleged aside. Allegedly, mighty warlord Toyotomi Hideyoshi from 1537-1598 used to rest his sleepy little head on a Baku pillow. The Japanese tradition of placing a drawing of the Baku underneath your pillow to entice sweet dreams dates back to the Muromachi period, 1336 AD to 1573 AD. The image of a Baku or its name on a piece of paper under your pillow wards off nightmares. According to Teresa Metsura from Uncanny Japan, episode 65, if you want your dreams in the new year to be pleasant and auspicious, you can get or make a drawing of a takarabun or treasure boat. That's the boat the 7 lucky gods sail on, and slip it under your pillow. To further up your sweet dreams potential, you should write the character for the Baku on the sail of the boat. It's difficult to track the canon traits of the Baku or Mo when the written accessible sources reference unnamed mysterious books, like in Koto in the Myths and Legends of Japan. The whole dream aspect is hard to pin down because Google can't confirm if the actual named ancient book exists, like with the Torakuten. Then, due to a random French guy in 1824, the meaning of Mo was switched from giant panda to Malayan tapir, complicating history and any further research. Then, mistakenly adding the tapir into the mythology brings in corresponding mythos around the tapir from Thailand, Malaysia, and Indonesia, which is likely where the whole Frankenstein Baku emerges. So my best bet at a reliable definition of the Baku comes from Sankei Ibutsu, an early 17th century manuscript that bases its description on a named, even older book, The Sans A Tu Hoi by Wang Chi, around 1610. In the mountains of the south there lives a beast. It has an elephant's trunk, the eyes of a rhinoceros, an ox's tail, and a tiger's paw. Its body is yellow and black, and it's called the Mo. By sleeping on its pelt, one can ward off pestilence. A man should make a sketch of the Mo in order to protect from evil. It eats copper and iron, but nothing else. Does this nothing else include dreams? Probably, very likely so. In the descriptions below, I have a PDF of the citations and the script. So if you'd like to check that out or do some research of your own, that would be wonderful. Now remember, always cite yo shit.